What's up, YouTube? Today we're going to be talking about 5 tips that can instantly improve your videography. So here we go. Tip number 1, always have good audio. It doesn't matter what camera you use or what lens that you use or even what your footage looks like. It could be Academy Award winning footage, but if the audio is terrible, everyone's gonna think it's a terrible video. Think about it. If there's lots of noise in the video, if there's wind distortion and you're watching it, you don't wanna watch it because it sounds so bad. So audio is incredibly important. It makes or break your film. So here's how I achieve my audio. I have a Zoom H5. I use an external recorder and it's really drastically improved my recordings. I got the shotgun attachment to it and I can put that in virtually any situation, throw a dead cat on there if I'm outside, and I can achieve good audio. I would always suggest using an external recorder. The one on your camera, it's fine. The microphone that comes built in with your camera is probably fine if you're in some kind of studio or some treated room that doesn't have a lot of echo or anything. But if you're looking for good audio for your video, which is number 1 on the tips, I would always use an external recorder that you have control over things like noise reduction and volume and things like that, because it's super important that you capture that audio no matter what the footage looks like.
Number 2.
Tip number 2, invest in a good tripod. And if you want to take it to the next level, you can get a slider or a stabilizer or something that's going to allow you to achieve cinematic looking footage. But don't just rely on handheld. I know there's a lot of videos going around the internet that talk about how you can achieve amazing looking stuff handheld, but honestly, it's a lot harder. So invest in a good tripod. I use a Manfrotto tripod, and I love it, but we usually attach just a cheap slider that we got on Amazon on top of it. I love the results from that slider. We put a fluid head on it and it looks super good. We've also had several stabilizers over the years. We started out with like a $30 Amazon like steady cam that you use handheld, and it worked for a while. We shot a lot of weddings with it, we shot some short films with it, but then we invested in a Crane V2, and that's still what we use. We have 2 of those and we love them. We had a Ronin M for a while and it was great, but the setup time took forever, so we love the Crane V2, and we just ordered a brand new Osmo Pocket, and this new Osmo Pocket is going to be a game changer. It's 4K at 60 frames per second, and I cannot wait to try it out. Unfortunately, it doesn't come out till December 15th, so we're gonna have to wait, and I'll do a review on that as soon as I get it. But always invest in a tripod or a stabilizer or something, because shaky footage is super annoying. Unless you're going for like some war drama where there's lots of action and there's a big fight scene and it's handheld on purpose, people are going to notice if it's shaky footage. So number 2, invest in a tripod or a stabilizer.
Please number 3, my lord.
Oh, okay. Number 3.
Tip number 3 is this: always shoot in a flat profile. I'm using right now a Lumix G7 and I've got it on the flattest profile possible. I'm shooting Cine like D, and I've taken down a lot of the settings like saturation and sharpness and noise reduction because I want the image to be as flat as possible. This allows for me to have a lot of control in my color grading process. It's as close as we can get to shooting in RAW, which I shoot in RAW on a 5D Mark II and a Blackmagic Cinema camera, and I have a lot of control in post with the color grading. So on a DSLR or a mirrorless camera that may not allow you to shoot a video in RAW, we want to get as flat of a profile as possible. And it's easy to find. Just go into the settings of your camera and find the flattest looking profile you can. And if you don't have one, like if you don't have Cine like D or V or something like that, or a log, then go ahead and just try to make your own. So mess with the settings and make it as flat looking as possible, and I promise it's going to help with your color grading immediately. Number 4, always have a shot list. Now, making a shot list is super annoying for me. I'm not an uber organized guy, and it's something that I hate doing, but I immediately regret it every single time that I don't have a shot list. I shot a feature film. It was my first one this year, and I had a big team and a big cast and crew, and it was a super fun process. But there were a couple of times that I got on set and I thought, oh, this is gonna be a really quick scene, so I don't need a shot list. And always those scenes lasted 4 to 5 hours longer than I thought they should, because I was not prepared. That's something that I've learned that will help you immediately in your videos, on any circumstance. So whether you're at a wedding and you have shots that you know that you want to get with the bride and groom, go ahead and write those down, even on like a note on your phone. And that will help you, because if you don't have the shot list, if you don't have a plan, then and you're winging it, no matter how talented you are, no matter how good at video you are, it will never be as good as if you planned it out in advance.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Number 5, learn your gear. I know that it is super easy to go on Amazon or B&H Photo or find some used stuff on eBay or whatever and get gear syndrome. I do it all the time. I want to buy new and better things all the time. However, that's not always the best option, because if you don't know the gear that you currently have, then it doesn't matter how good the gear that you get is, because you're never going to learn that either. So my suggestion, the biggest tip that you can learn out of this entire video, is to learn the gear that you have. Dedicate yourself to looking up YouTube videos and reading blogs and read the user manual and find out some tips and tricks on using what you already have and making it the best that you possibly can. If you learn your camera and your lenses and your audio gear from the inside out, and you know it like the back of your hand, when you show up on set or to the location that you're going to be shooting, you're going to have no problem getting shots set up and getting the result that you desire. I hope that these 5 tips were super helpful for you. I'm going to start a series of 5 ways to make certain things better. So next week we're going to talk about photography, and then we'll talk about wedding videography and wedding photography and a couple other things that are going to be hopefully really helpful for you. So before you leave the video, go ahead and hit that like button below and comment and let me know what you think, and then also subscribe so this channel can start growing a little bit. Thanks guys, we'll see you next time.